Hello, and welcome to Time Between Times storytelling with me, Owen Staton. Welcome to this place where tales are told in a traditional way. Welcome to the time between times, the time when it's neither night nor day, but the sun has gone and the sky is grey. Welcome to the time when the veil between our world and the fairy world grows wafer, wafer thin. So thin that for a few moments you can reach into their realm, and for a few moments they can reach into ours. Now is the time that people see lights in the sky. Now is the time that people see fairies. Now is the time that ghosts choose to visit us. But we know we are safe here at the time between times. So sit back, relax, and let your imagination run wild on a tide of tales. Sit at the fire pit and look around as your friends gather for a tale traditionally told. Far away you can hear the howl of wolves. Far away you can hear the growl of bears. But you know you are safe here at the time between times. So sit back, relax, and let me take you back to Warwick 1,000 years ago, in the heart of England, where a humble page called Guy served the Earl of Warwick. He cleaned, he sewed, he helped hunt. The Earl barely noticed him as he wandered around Warwick Castle, always in love with the Earl's daughter, Felice. Guy did everything to try and attract her attention, and one day, when the sun was high in the sky, he asked her to marry him. She approached her father, for she was partial to Guy as well. But her father stepped forward in a rage that knew no bounds. "You are not worthy of my daughter! Unless you can prove yourself through deed, heroic or otherwise, you will not marry her. Do you understand?" "Yes, my lord, I understand," said Guy. Sobbing, he went away, found his page's armour and his old mare of a horse, and walked away from Warwick Castle, knowing not what to do. He had heard tell from travelling storytellers many times of a great beast called the Dunsmore cow, which ravaged around Dunsmore Heath not far away. A cow that was more than 18 feet long and 12 foot tall, with teeth like a lion and horns as big as an elephant's tusks. It ravaged the countryside. With his heart full of courage and a desire to marry Felice, Guy went to Dunsmore Heath, and there at the time between times, he snuck up on the cow as it grazed in the fields. It charged at him, and the ground shook. Guy brought out his sword, and at the last moment ducked under the charging cow, and reached up and brought the sword up under its chin, slaying it dead. The people of Dunsmore Heath cheered to the heavens. Guy was a hero. They carried him back to the village on their shoulders, cheering every step that he made. Word went out to the Lord of Warwick, who returned with one message: that is not enough. Guy decided to travel to the Holy Land, and there he spent many years, travelling around doing great deeds. It is said that in one battle he did slay 13,000 of the enemy with his blade alone. He sent back a message to the Earl of Warwick, who replied, rather sourly, that is not enough. Eventually Guy returned home. He landed in Dover, looked up at the great white cliffs, and started to make his way back to Warwick. But he soon heard from people fleeing the area that a great army of Norsemen were laying siege to Warwick. There the Earl had brought out his army, but hopelessly outnumbered. He made a deal with the King of the Norse. "Let this battle be decided by single combat." "Very well," said the King of the Norse, and brought forward his champion, the giant Kolbered. Kolbered was 30 foot tall and carried a 15-foot sword. He was feared throughout the land. He strode forth, and the earth shook. there, from out of nowhere, came Guy on his old mare with his battered sword. He rode in front of the Earl's army and did battle with Colbered. All night they fought as the moon shone in the sky, until the sun started to rise the next morning at the time between times. And there, just as the giant was about to bring his blade down, Guy leapt up, twirled around, and cut off his head, which landed with a thud in front of the armies. The Danish army fled in front of them, and Guy was declared a hero. He fell to his knees and wept. The Earl of Warwick came forward. "Arise, Guy. I let you now be known as Sir Guy, and you may marry my daughter Felice, for you have proved yourself worthy." Guy of Warwick stood up, placed his sword in the ground, looked at Felice, his eyes full of longing, looked at the Earl. "I cannot do any more. I must now die in peace. My life has been full of deeds for other people. Let me now take time for myself." He wandered into the wild woods around Warwick and found a cave full of moss. Dark, dank, dismal place. And there he spent the rest of his life. Slowly, the deeds, the adventures, the heroics caught up with him, and he lay dying in the cave. But one night, when the moon was full, Felice visited him, took his hand, and they were married in the moonlight in the heart of the forest. It is said that all the animals came forward to watch the wedding. And the next morning, Guy passed from this world, was buried deep in the heart of the forest, where he remains to this day. But the tales of his deeds are legend. Guy of Warwick, a great hero from the Middle Ages who battled beasts, men, and his own broken heart, to still be remembered to this day. And that, my friends, is the tale of Guy of Warwick, an ancient folk tale from long, long ago, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me here at the Time Between Times. If you enjoy my storytelling, I now have a Patreon account, and I would appreciate any support you would be kind enough to give me. It'll follow at the end here. Also, I have a podcast called Time Between Times Podcast, where I release a longer tale every week, and it is available wherever you will find your podcasts. I also have great news. Last week, I recorded a new podcast with a great friend of mine called Bethan Briggs Miller. It is called Spectre of the Sea. Bethan has done a fantastic job there. Have a listen and let me know what you think. I'll put a link underneath here. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, my friends. Always know that you are safe at the time between times. Time it is neither night nor day, but the sun has gone and the sky is grey. No star.